What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today it's another Premier League predictions video. It's quite late, but I'm going to get this video up before the 12:30 kickoff between Aston Villa and Newcastle, and I think it's going to be a 3-1 Newcastle win. This is going to be a really good game, I think. Aston Villa have been the third most informed team in the league since Unai Emery took over back in October, but his first game was actually a 4-0 loss against Newcastle. And Newcastle, like I've said, I'm really impressed with them. I think they play fantastic football, and in the last 5 games they've actually been able to score a lot more goals as well. Isak's firing now. Wilson is starting to find his feet again. He was really good at the start of the season, a bit of a drop off, but now he looks like he's a lot more in form as well. Saint-Maximin looked good before his injury. Murphy's looked good. Joel Linton obviously banging, and the defence has still been solid. I think Newcastle a bit hard done by against Brentford with some of the decisions, especially one of the penalties that was given, which they actually scored from. Really poor decision from VAR and the referee. Villa got a big win against Forest as well. They're up into 6, man. Like, Gerrard had this team fighting relegation. Like, Emery's got them fighting for Europe. This is really impressive, man. Ollie Watkins is on fire, and I think he will score. But I just think Newcastle have got a bit too much firepower. They're a better team, I think. But I do hope that Villa will get Europe. I think it'd be great to see him do it, especially with how bad they were at the start of the season, how low on confidence a lot of the players were. Emery's done a wonder job there. It's not surprising. He was in the Champions League semi-finals last year. So he's obviously a fantastic manager. It's good to see him getting the best out of this Villa side. Chelsea against Brighton. Ooh. Talking about teams playing insane football, Brighton play such good football. They were robbed at Tottenham last week. Some of the decisions in that game was all pathetic, man. Absolutely embarrassing from VAR and the referee, man. Mitoma robbed of a clear penalty. A clear foul. Dunk as well was fouled in the box, not given. One of the goals that Brighton actually had disallowed, it was for handball, but it clearly hit McAllister on his hip. It should have stood. They're a better team in that game. I think they'll win in London this time. I'm going 2-1 Brighton. On to Chelsea though, they actually don't play that bad football. They create quite a lot of chances. Even against Real Madrid, I was fairly impressed with them. But they just can't score goals, man. Like, Havertz he's so bad. He's so bad. Felix isn't great either. He's not what they need. They need a striker, and they don't have one. They're not going to have one for the rest of the season. I don't think they win here. Brighton, I think, are going to have too much. I'm giving Chelsea a goal. I feel like they might nick one off a set piece or something. Like, Fofana might score a header. But, yeah, I'm hoping... Obviously, as a QPR fan, I want Brighton to win. But, even for the race for Europe, I'm hoping Brighton win. I'd love to see them in Europe, man. They're such a good team. Everton against Fulham. This is a really interesting game because, obviously, Everton are fighting against relegation. They lost at Old Trafford a week ago where they were awful. Somehow it was only 2-0. Pickford made a lot of big saves in that game. Fulham are in free fall, man. They've been awful. Even with Mitrovic, they haven't been great lately. And obviously now that he's gone, they don't really have a goal threat. I'm going with the 2-0 Everton win. I think they need it more. Fulham are lucky they had a really good start to the season, so they're not in any danger of dropping out of the league. But they're also now, I think, too far away from Europe. They keep throwing games away. And... yeah, it's really hard for them to score goals. They're still playing decent, but they just can't score, so they're not going to be able to win games. I think Everton will do it. Southampton against Crystal Palace, a big game down at the bottom of the table. Palace have got 2 wins out of 2 since Roy Hodgson's come back. He's been insane. Although against Leeds, they might have won 5-1 in, but in the first half, they could have been 5-1 down. Literally, Leeds was all over them. And in the second half, it completely switched. The difference was Palace could actually score. And it's weird because in previous games, Palace have created a lot of chances and haven't been able to finish them off. Whereas against Leeds, they were able to. So it was kind of weird to see that. But Southampton, bottom of the league right now. Actually played pretty well against Man City in the first half, I thought. Again, that St Mary's, it's going to be a tight game, but I'm going to edge it for Southampton. I'm going with a 2-1 win. I just have a feeling, man. Again, the home side, I think they need it a bit more. Palace should be safe. Obviously, if they win this, they're definitely safe. A win here for Southampton would maybe make Palace fans look over their shoulders a little bit. I'm sure that they're very happy with how Roy Hodgson has started again at Palace. He's got them away from the real danger zone. They're now 6 points clear of the relegation zone with just 8 games to go. But I don't know, man. I see Southampton taking it. Although I know they didn't have Zaha in the last game either, but just without him, I think they'll find it a bit tougher. And again, Southampton are in a really bad position. They have to win here to have any chance of staying in the league. Tottenham Hotspur against Bournemouth. Like I said earlier, Tottenham absolutely robbed Brighton the other day. But I do think they'll win here. I'm going 2-1 win. Bournemouth I've been really impressed with though, man. In every game they're going for it, man. They're pressing high, they're creating chances. The players aren't the most technical. In terms of actual ability, they probably have the lowest in the league. But they're doing really well, man. They're working really hard, and I hope to see him get a result here. I just think that with Harry Kane in your team, you can play awfully for 80 minutes. As long as you give him a couple chances, he'll put one away. And that's why I'm giving Tottenham the win. Wolverhampton Wanderers against Brentford. Two of the teams I really dislike in this league, obviously along with the other, with Fulham, Chelsea and Palace. Wolves looked decent against Chelsea, to be fair to them. Brentford against Newcastle, again, in the first half, they weren't too bad. Second half, they kind of capitulated a little bit. But again, yeah, Brentford, will they get Europe? It's looking more and more unlikely now. Lost 2 in a row. With Wolves, are they going to survive? As much as I hate to say it, they might. I really want them to go down. I'm going with a 1-1 draw. Again, Wolves don't score many goals. They've scored 24 all season. Brentford, pretty decent at scoring, to be fair to them, especially from set pieces. Tony's on fire this season as well. You wouldn't bet against them winning it, but I just think with what's at stake for Wolves, it's a game where they should be aiming to get all 3 points and would be very disappointed if they don't get at least one. So 1-1. Man City against Leicester. Wow. Leicester City have just appointed Dean Smith as manager. He's not a bad manager, but I don't know if he's the right man to keep him up. He's obviously only going to have had a couple of training sessions. Man City, and the form of their lives, just absolutely decimated Bayern Munich in the Champions League. Could have been 8 or 9-0 in that game if it weren't for Jan Sommer. I'm going 5 by Man City. If Leicester somehow do something here, I'll be amazed. But they are 19th. This is going to be a real tough game for them. Then I don't think they're going to be expecting anything. They just got to keep it to a respectful scoreline and make sure that they don't absolutely destroy their goal difference here. 4 goals is quite bad, but their goal difference is a lot better than the majority of teams around them, which could be important come the end of the season. I think they're going to have to try and keep the 2 or 3. And if they do that, I think they should be happy. Obviously, they lost at home to relegation rivals Bournemouth last week in a game where they were not very good. Bournemouth were all over them. And yeah, they're going to have to improve their performance if they do want to stay up. West Ham against Arsenal, going on to Sunday fixtures now. First game on Super Sunday. West Ham got a big win away at Fulham last week. Again, they didn't play very well, but they got the result. And I don't think they're going to do the same against Arsenal. I don't think they'd expect to do anything. I'm going with a 3-1 Arsenal win. Arsenal have to win because they've got some real tough games coming up. They've got Newcastle away coming. They've got Manchester City away coming, which is going to be the big game in the title race. I feel like Arsenal kind of threw it away at Anfield against Liverpool last week. They drew 2-2. They should have won. They were all over them first half. Some of the substitutions that Arteta made were a bit questionable. And they did let it get away from them a little bit. They should just carry on what they were doing in the first half. Obviously, they've got to move on from that now. West Ham, our team, struggling. They just drew in the Europa Conference League, the other day. So, that's an away game. They're probably going to be tired for this. So Arsenal have to take advantage of that. And I think they will. They've got to know they have to win these sort of games now. Man City are not going to let up, and they have to make sure they don't either. Obviously, for West Ham fans, to get anything from this game would be just a bonus. They've got games coming up that are tough, but they've got a game in hand on everyone around them. This isn't the sort of game I think they're going to expect to get any points in. Nottingham Forest currently in 18th against Manchester United, who threw away a 2-0 lead in the Europa League. That was only a couple of days ago. Again, they're going to be tired. And they've got both their centre-backs out. Martinez out for the season, Varane out for a couple of weeks, Rashford still out for a couple of weeks. 3 of their 4 best players, I'd say with Casemiro, are out. Luke Shaw might play. He hasn't been great in recent weeks though. And you don't know which version of De Gea is going to turn up. I think Nottingham Forest, with their home record, are going to win here. I'm going 2-1 Forest. Like it's United without a couple players are just awful, man. Without Rashford, their goal threat just significantly decreases. With their two, best centre backs out, Harry Maguire's gonna have to step in. And although he did score an own goal. He didn't really know much about it. It's not really his fault, but they threw away 2-goal lead in about 6 minutes the other day. It's not going to do wonders for their confidence. With Forest the Forest have to get points, man, and in their home games, because they are awful on the road. With the form that Brennan Johnson's in, he will score. Especially against the Manchester United defence, that's going to be very makeshift. Not going to have their starters in. They're very good at home though, and that's why I'm giving them a win here. It's a bit controversial, and I also know United could, score 2-3 goals. Sancho's looking a bit better now. Martial's back to full fitness, and not to full fitness, but he's back in the team. He's playing well. He could score a couple goals. But overall, man, with that defence, I just, without Martinez and Varane, without Rashford, they are significantly weaker, and I think Forest have to take advantage of that. The final game of the game week, Monday Night Football, Leeds United against Liverpool. Leeds won at Anfield, and I think they're going to win at Ellen Road as well. I'm going 2-0 Leeds. Controversial again, but against Palace, yes, they lost 5-1, but in the first half, they should have been 5-1 up. If they can score here, they'll win. If not, then obviously they won't. But, defensively, Leeds aren't very good at all. But with the way Liverpool have played in some of these away games, man, I don't even know if Leeds need to be worried about Liverpool attacking. Against Bournemouth, with the exception of the penalty, Liverpool created nothing. Away against Chelsea, Liverpool was so lucky to come away with a 0-0 draw. They, again, created nothing. The lucky Havertz was Chelsea's striker on the day. He couldn't score anywhere, man. Leeds, again, they're in a bit of a bad situation right now. They've got to start getting points. Otherwise, they're going to be in danger. And again, I think they'll get it. I think they will get it. Liverpool, again, on the road are awful. I think Liverpool might miss out on European football for next season. And if they lose this, they definitely will. But, with the form that Aston Villa are in, with the way Brighton are playing, you wouldn't assume any of, Newcastle, Tottenham or United would drop out of the European race completely now. It's looking more and more likely for Liverpool. A positive for them, Luis Diaz should be back. I doubt he'll start. He's only just coming back. But he was arguably the best player in the second half of last season when he came in. He's really direct, he's quick, he can dribble, he can shoot, he can do everything, and he'll be a massive, massive boost to them when he's back to fitness. Again, I don't think he'll play any part in the Leeds game. He might come on for like 5-10 minutes at the end. And with what they've currently got, how bad their midfield is, man. Trent, again, defensive, Gnonto, Somerville, it's going to be a long day for him. Like I said already, Leeds won at Anfield. Liverpool lost at home to Leeds, so I just don't see him getting a point at Ellen Road, or I don't see him getting anything at Ellen Road. But yeah, those are my predictions. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.